Assalamualaikum and a very good day. I am Shahreen Binti Ghazali, and today I would like to present about the Hague system, which is the international design system on the background and also the key principles of the Hague system. And this will be the flow of my presentation. I would like to explain about the background of the treaty, the purpose of the treaty, and the membership of the treaty, and what it covers, which is what is in the scope, and the treaty requirements, and lastly is about the advantage. So before we go further, we must understand what is industrial design. So an industrial design may consist of 3D features such as the shape of an article, or 2D features such as pattern, lines, and also colors. And industrial design are applied to a wide variety of products of the industry and also handicraft items, from packages to containers to furnishing and household goods, from lighting equipment to jewelry, and from electronic devices to textile. And graphic symbol, graphic user interface such as GUI, comic characters, and also logos are also covered under the industrial design. Features of industrial design is that an industrial design is the form of a product, and only the aesthetic and also visual form of a product can be filed and protected as an industrial design. And basically, a design is an asset. A good design must undergo a creative process, which is be done through research and development. And the research and development need some kind of investment, where the design outcome is an asset and it needs to be protected. The importance of industrial design protection is actually to give an exclusive right to prevent unauthorized copying, also imitation by others, and it is in the form of ROI, or which is the return on investment, and business asset will increase in commercial value for the company and also its product, and it may help the company to actually register their design so that it can be licensed, and then it can be also sell, and it will encourage fair competition and also honest trade practices among the players. Now we move on to the first section of my presentation, which is about the Hague system itself. The Hague Agreement is an international registration system which offers the possibility of obtaining protection for industrial design in number of states or intergovernmental organization by means of a single application to the International Bureau of World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO. And the Hague Agreement is constituted by 3 international treaties, which is the first one, the Geneva Act of July 2, 1999, and the Hague Act of November 28, 1960, and the last one is the London Act of June 2, 1934. It is a procedural agreement for the centralized acquisition and also maintenance of the industrial design right. So the condition of protection and also the refusal procedures and the right resulting from the protection were not determined by the Hague Agreement, but governed by the law of each contracting party, that we call the bundle of right. Next is the second section of my presentation, which is the purpose of the treaty. The purpose of the Hague system is actually to provide a legal framework and also mechanism for filing a single international registration in which one or more contracting parties are designated, and it serves as the central management of post-registration. And the Hague system provides cost-effective and efficient way in giving protection and right, thus creating opportunities for any enterprise with a limited legal budget. It provides flexible affording, right? And great suppleness in targeting national, regional, or global market for particular goods. And now we move on to the members of the treaty. Currently, there are 76 contracting parties in the geographical scope of the Hague system, where 60 is under the Geneva Act 1999, which include the EU and also the OAP, and 16 is under the Hague Act 1960. And on the screen, you can see the full listing of the membership under the Hague Agreement. And now we move on to the scope of the treaties to know what is the treaties coverage. So basically, the scope of the treaty is actually to give legal protection based on the representation of the design presented in the application of the registration. Each variant of an industrial design require legal protection independently. A set of industrial design require legal protection as a whole. And second one is submission method. Up to 100 design within one Locarno class can be filed in one application. The applicant can submit an application either to the National Patent Office or directly to WIPO. And the third one, examination and also publishing, where the WIPO examine and the compliance of the application with the formal requirement. And lastly is the validity, where the right of the owner of the registered industrial design are valid for 5 years. And under the scope of right, there are three main scope, which is the right to prevent unauthorized copying or imitation by third party. The next one is to legally exclude all other making, offering, importing, exporting, or selling of the product with a specific design. And the last one is an infringement can be legally combated only if the owner has recorded his design or receive a formal certificate of protection. Next is the treaty requirement, which will touch on the main requirement of the Hague system. So under the Hague system, novelty and individual character is the main requirement. An industrial design has to be new, it has to have an individual character, and it has to be possible to manufacture industrial or handicraft product according to it. A design is deemed to be new if no identical or confusingly similar industrial design is disclosed in Estonia or any foreign state prior to the filing date of the registration of the application. The Patent Office will not register an industrial design which, the first thing, is not novel and derives solely from the technical function of the product, and it's contrary to good practice, and it is a layout design of integrated circuit, or is a spare part or component which is not visible upon normal use when assembled in the product, and if the product is unstable. And the filing requirement are we can only submit one international application, whereby the one international registration for all the design included in that application in one single language, which is either English, French, or Spanish. And the applicant need to pay only one set of fees in one single currency, which is Swiss francs, and it is filed with one office, which is WIPO. And the last part of my presentation is the advantage of the Hague system. I have divided the advantage into 4 parts, which is effectiveness, whereby we obtain protection for their design with a minimum of formalities and also expenses. And it is very efficient system, which it avoid the complication arising from procedures and also languages, and it is also a dispute avoidance tools whereby it avoid the need for constant monitoring of the deadline for renewal and the need to pay series of fees in various kind of currencies. And lastly, it serve as a centralized depository, which is the subsequent management of the international registration is considerably facilitated through the Hague system. I hope I have enlightened the viewers on the Hague agreement and also Hague system. And if there is any question, you might drop an email to me, Shari binti Ghazali. Thank you so much.